What's going on, True Life Session? Welcome back. If you haven't yet already, go ahead and take a deep breath because you have made it through 2020, and now we're sitting in 21. And I'm just so thankful to be here. Back again, True Life Sessions, episode 008. I invited our very newest FCA staff member, Mr. Chris Edward. What's up, dude?
How you doing?
Yeah, it's good
Happy to be here.
Yeah, good to be here. Yeah. So, Chris, what exactly do you do on FCA staff?
Yeah, I'm the FCA basketball director.
Whoa.
So basically what we're trying to do is form a club team for basketball, and starting with clinics, camps, teams, whatever. We're just trying to get basketball out there and really focus on the ministry of basketball and bringing it holistically through.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm sure people watching this that understand FCA, they probably have actually never heard of anyone being an FCA director in a specific sport. So what does that look like in like the day-to-day, just to kind of help our coaches and athletes?
Yeah, day-to-day is meetings, trying to find facilities, planning camps, planning clinics, making sure our practices are run right, making sure we have good devotionals at the end of every practice and camp. And it's a little similar to what coaching is like, setting up practices and making sure you have a good plan going on.
Nice. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, I know you, but I'm guessing you played basketball.
I
right?
did. Yeah.
Was that a requirement to be the director of basketball?
I don't know if it was a requirement, but it's definitely a bonus.
Yeah. So why don't you tell them a little bit about kind of your basketball career, where you been, where you gone, and what made you come here?
So yeah, I originally from California, played 4 years in high school, played 2 years at a junior college down there, got a scholarship to come up to Concordia up in Portland. That's how I first saw this beautiful state. And then I got 2 years to play professional in Germany. So that was incredible.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's super cool.
Got to travel the world just from basketball alone. I went to 6 countries.
Wow.
Just in the last two years. So it was like I got to travel, live in a new country, travel the world just to play basketball too. It was incredible.
Yeah, that's super cool. What was your most favorite thing about just being in Germany? Besides playing basketball for a career, I think that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that part was really cool. I think just being like diving in and living in the culture, you're not a tourist. You're living there. So like you get a full aspect of what it's like to live. You know, they speak English, but you don't really want to speak English. So you have to learn the language, start to read the language. And it was just like a big culture shock, but it was such a blessing to be able to learn a new culture and kind of figure out how people operate differently than Americans.
Wow, that's super cool. So what in the world made you want to go into full-time ministry from professional basketball?
That's a fair question.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like, that's a call from God for sure.
Oh, absolutely a call from God. Really, my last season, like if we're looking specifically at basketball, you would probably think the same thing. Why did he retire? It was probably the best season I've ever played of basketball in my life, but my soul needed something more. And so I prayed to God and I was like, Lord, I don't know what's going on. Like I should be happy. I should be stoked that I'm playing this well and things are going great, but something's missing. And so honestly, with the pandemic and being sent home a month early, that was a good time for me to just be like, oh, I'm home. I'm glad I'm home. I don't want to leave. And like, this is great. So it was just a lot of prayer and talking to my council, which is like my youth pastor and some of the elders at my church. And just like, I think it's time to put an end to basketball and I want to do more. I want to give back to the people who have helped me give back to the community. And so, yeah, here I am, full-time ministry just from 6-7 months ago, being a professional basketball player.
Wow, that's amazing. What a God story. And if you don't know Chris, you need to get to know Chris. Chris is like such an A player, and the fact that we now have an ex-professional basketball player on our staff is like super cool. And obviously, you know, at True Life Session, I don't know if you watched it before you came on staff. I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, then we'd have to have a conversation after. But we always play a game when we talk about our topic. And because you played basketball, we're playing soccer.
Yes.
My sport.
Makes sense.
Which makes total sense. It looks like a hockey rink, but it's
but it also like kind of looks like a key, right? Like a key, and then
yeah. I see that. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so you wanted to talk about gratefulness.
I did.
Why? I'm jammed. I'm jammed.
I wanted to talk about gratefulness.
That's a goal. If you didn't know, soccer.
I thought it was a 3-pointer, right? I want to talk about gratefulness because I feel like in these times, there's a lot of situations where people are just more stuck on the sad versus like the happiness that comes, because we can be grateful in every situation and every circumstance that comes through life.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to get that message out.
The ball's kind of stuck. I think it's such a good topic to talk about because everybody kind of has this mentality coming into 2021 like, oh, thank God 2020 is over. And so many people, I know for me personally, like I was so ready to get out of that year. I think if I wasn't careful, I would push through and not be able to see exactly how God was moving in the midst of it. You know, that gratefulness spirit. Yeah. And I think it's just such a good topic to talk about going into a new year, how to have that kind of grateful heart. Mm-hmm. Do you have like a specific situation? I know me and you were talking before about, you know, despite the circumstances, how could we have gratefulness? Is there a specific situation in your own personal life where the circumstances probably pushed you to a spirit of non-gratefulness, but you chose gratefulness instead?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It would probably be my first year out in Germany.
Oh, I bet. Dang.
Brand new, you know, kid just graduated high school, and I was like, that's out of bounds.
Yeah.
Throw in.
I'm jammed.
Yeah, I was a kid fresh out of high school, out of college.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like I'm living in a place in the world that people don't look like me. They don't talk like me. English is not their first language. And I'm by myself for 20 hours of the day besides like practice.
Yep.
Because I stay in my apartment and I go to practice and that's it. And so I just was like lonely, scared, anxious. I just didn't really know what to do.
Wow.
And so I had a panic attack.
Oh no.
And like it was probably the longest 11 minutes of my life. And it was just in the midst of like not knowing what I want to do, not knowing if I'm meant to be here or not even questioning if God was there for me.
Yikes.
Right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then my friend who lived in the apartment above, she like checked in on me and she sent me this song, and it was just called Blinded by Your Grace. And like it was just, I sat down, laid in the shower, just listening to this song, and I just was like, I'm so blessed to be here. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. And I didn't pack another ball. Oh, Chelsea.
The assist.
Yeah, the assist.
Yeah, I'm so blessed to be able to live in a foreign country, to play basketball, to have the ability to be good enough to play basketball.
Yeah.
And to get paid to play the sport that I love.
Yeah.
It really just put into perspective, like I really just need to be grateful in all moments.
2-0. Just want to make sure everybody at home's paying attention.
I'm trying not to show my anger, but I'm a little upset by that. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it's just I have a family that cares and loves and supports me, and they always have my back. And I have people who are in my corner, and I have a God that loves me no matter how I am, no matter if I reject Him, if I don't listen to His rules, if I'm just so disobedient. But He still loves me and is gracious in all moments.
Yeah.
So it just really, like, I just took a step back and I'm like, I just need to be thankful.
Yeah.
And I just need to be grateful in these moments because very few people get to do what I'm doing and get to be where I'm at.
Yeah.
So that really challenged me to be grateful. And you know, as crazy as this year was, you have the most out of bounds. I feel like you should lose.
It's because I am like firing at all cylinders. Okay. I'm not here to just mess around. I'm here to win. Oh no. All that talk. All that talk.
Bites you. It bites you.
I think something you're hitting on is something that I've seen just in my own personal walk with Jesus in this area of gratefulness, is that gratefulness can be almost a reset button. Yeah. Like when the circumstances around you are piling up against you and it feels like that's 3-1 and you feel like there's really nowhere to turn or nowhere to look, God has provided us with such an awesome thing in gratefulness to reset kind of like how we see things. Yeah. And it sounds like even in that situation, gratefulness kind of pulled you out of the muck and mire of just like being able to just look up for just a second. That's super awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, that reset button, it's crucial.
Yeah.
And I think especially since it's like the beginning of the new year, right? Everyone looks to 2021 as a tangible change.
Yeah.
And so like honestly, the new year could be a personified gratefulness because it's like we're here to change.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to do something different.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, oh, I messed up last year. New year, let me reset. Let me do it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. I really do like that analogy.
Yeah. And I think too, something you even hit on was like worship was such a big aspect of that reset for your mind and just the way that you were looking at your own life. And I think for me, and what I see in scripture, you look at the Psalms, like David was all over the place sometimes, but he always reset with like these words like, but God, or like gratefulness for him was kind of the foundation in like helping him get to worship. Like it was like gratefulness like helped him get to that spirit of like, oh wait, I'm actually going to start worshiping right now. Like worship's going to be my weapon in the midst of a season that I can't kind of see out of. And gratefulness can play such a huge part in that. It's so cool.
Yeah.
You got any verses or anything like tangible we can kind of give our people? I mean, I'm smacking you. I don't even know.
It's clear that I should have retired from soccer a lot sooner than what I did.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna call it quits there. 4-1. It was close.
I don't think it was.
I had you in the first half,
but I definitely took it.
But you definitely got me in the second.
That's so good. That's so good. Yeah. You got anything like? I know we were talking before. 1 Thessalonians. You got any like scripture you want to share with our coaches and athletes? Kind of help them.
Yeah. 1 Thessalonians 5:15 and 16. Great. Rejoice in all situation, pray through every circumstance, and give thanks in all circumstances as well.
Yeah.
I totally butchered that, but
I think you got it though.
But that's the gist, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was such a big yearly verse for me because I remember going through that and then just reading that and being called to that. I was like, how does one give thanks in all circumstances? That was so hard for me. Yeah. And then it just kept reading and thinking about Paul's life, thinking about David's life and Saul and Daniel's life. Yeah. And it just was like, that's what these godly men do. Yeah. They really give praise like in the midst of a storm. Yeah. And a proverbial storm that I was going through, but it was like, okay, I can give thanks because there are good things that come out of this. And it just changed my attitude. Yeah. You have that attitude of gratitude. Yeah, that's key. That's key. So practically, coaches and athletes, I think what that looks like in your life is maybe, I think in those situations we tend to look down. Like it's like so many of the what's going on in our world, what's going on in our with the COVID, and maybe what's going on in your personal life that nobody knows about tends to make your eyes go down to the ground. And I think what gratefulness can do can slow you down and be like, hey, look up for a second. Look around. What is in your life? What is surrounding you right now that actually pushes you to a spirit of gratefulness? Because in that gratefulness can be almost like a reset of like, man, I'm looking at the world. I'm looking at my circumstances in such a crazy way. Let me stop for a moment. Feel grateful. Be pushed to worship. See who God is in the midst of that circumstance. And then we're able to take a step forward, regardless of what is even surrounding us. So practically, look up, I guess is a good word. Just look up, take a breath. And let's head into 2021 with that spirit of gratefulness, wherever we're at, whether that's on a field, in a classroom, on a Zoom call. Let's just be grateful for what God's given us. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Chris, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for having me. You'll probably be back. I feel like that was, we vibe. Probably. We got a nice vibe together. We got a good thing going on. Yeah, you and I. Yeah. Well, True Life Session, we love you guys. We're praying for you guys. We are with you, coaches and athletes. Be encouraged, and we'll see you next time.